Dad. I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Larry Fitzgerald for enshrinement in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, his son Devin Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Devin. Thank you. I'm very proud of you, son. I'm very proud of you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm proud of you, son. And I hope I'm giving you and your brothers the tools to live the lives you guys want to live. That's something that's very important to me. I want to thank the Hall of Fame voters for this tremendous honor. It's a privilege to be here and share this stage with four men I truly respect. Between us, we've got catches, passes, tackles, kicks, and rushes all covered. To my brothers, Drew, Luke, Adam, and Roger, congratulations. Thank you. All my life, I've been lucky enough to be surrounded by people and great institutions that surrounded me and nurtured me and inspired me to pursue excellence. Martin Luther King Park in Minneapolis, Minnesota is where it all started for me. I had my first touchdown, my first home run, first dunk, first fight. I even had my first kiss, and I almost drowned in the pool there one time. At the Academy of Holy Angels High School, I had the best teachers, faculty, and coaches led by Mike Pendino and Ray Benton and the rest of their staff, as well as a community that supported me every single step of the way. Then, Valley Forge Military Academy, reinforced rigor, accountability, and punctuality. Head coach Mike Musella used to kick me in the butt and taught me that I could endure much more than I ever thought. Then I got to go to the University of Pittsburgh and the city of Pittsburgh. It gave me two of the best years of my entire life, and it was filled with incredible accomplishments. I was excelling athletically, but I was also in the depths of my emotions, having lost both a parent and a teammate just 2 months apart. The love and support I was surrounded by at that time from Coach Walt Harris and his staff is something that I'll never forget. That's the foundation I brought to Arizona, where I was welcomed by the Bidwell family, who've owned the Cardinals for 93 years. Bill, Nancy, along with children, Bill Jr., Michael, Nicole, and Tim, thank you. I remember Mr. B. He would take me around the city so I could go see different organizations that he and his family and Cardinals Charities supported. He never wanted notoriety, even praise for those things, and I always respected that about Mr. B. Then when Michael Bidwell took over, he kept giving me the canvas to paint my version of a masterpiece. So Michael, thank you. Thank you so very much for your friendship, for your tutelage, and always being so good to my family. Thank you. And I also want to give you a big shout out for letting me, Pat P, Carson, and the rest of the boys use the planes on the golf trips. So thank you for that too. Yeah. I just want to show a little love to my Cardinal fans here in attendance today. And to the Cardinal fans back home in Arizona, you guys supported us on and off the field over the years. You showed up at home games, you showed up at away games, through wins and losses. It's been 22 years and counting, Arizona, and I'll spend the rest of my life trying to replenish the well of goodwill I have been lucky enough to drink from. As all of you know, this journey is never about one person. It's always about the people who show up for us, and there are two people who came into my life through my father's influence. First was the late Coach Dennis Green. Coach Green saw something in me at 14 years old, and he gave me my first job as a ball boy for the Minnesota Vikings. And boy, he used to get on me, Fitz, get that ball on the right hash. I would always mess up the spot in the ball on 7-on-7 and team drill. But 7 years later, he forgave all of that when he became head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, and I became his first pick in Arizona. Trust me, the Cardinals, we had more personnel needs than wide receiver. We already had my boy Anquan Boldin. He was a 2003 Rookie of the Year. He was balling. But Coach Green and General Manager Rod Graves trusted what I had to offer and picked me anyway. And it unequivocally changed the course of my life from that point on. Second, when it was time to pick an agent, my dad believed the late Eugene Parker was the right man to shape me into the person and player that I needed to be. For years, Mr. Parker taught me, he guided me, he stood next to me the exact same way he did for his other 9 Pro Football Hall of Famers. Along with Eugene, I got a bonus mentor and his associate, Paul Lawrence. Paul, I'm sure gonna miss our one-on-one basketball games, and not just because I beat you every single time. Another person who made all the difference in my life is Ann Vitala, my consigliere, and you've never steered me wrong, never. When Coach Green hired me as a ball boy, I grew up watching legends being built right in front of me. Hall of Famers like John Randall, Chris Dolman, Randall McDaniel, and Warren Moon taught me what it meant to demand more of yourself than anyone ever else could. Plus, they saw me at 8 in the morning before training camp practice. It was, "What's up, Fitzy? Hey, Fitz, go grab me 2 wristbands real quick." I was being acknowledged by the greats. And if I wanted to ask a question at the right time, they'd answer me. Without that experience, I'm not here. So let me thank Chris Carter, AKA Uncle Chris, who I idolized as a kid growing up in Minneapolis. Thank you. Uncle Chris, you took me into your family, into your home, and you gave me an education that shaped every part of who I am today. Your support was endless, and I hope that today feels like a small return on your investment. Thank you. And Uncle Chris, since we got all them pleasantries out the way, I hope we both can agree. My hands have always been better than yours. Right? All right. Another player who changed my life was Randy Moss. People ask me all the time what I learned from Randy Moss, and my answer is always the same: I learned nothing. Because there was nothing I could do like him on the football field. They call him the freak for a reason. But what I did learn from Moss is about generosity. He gave me his clothes. He gave me his size 14 shoes. He came to my high school games. He let me use his car. And he even surprised me with the knock for the Hall of Fame. Randy, being acknowledged by you, someone bigger than life, it meant the world to me. And I'm so happy you're healthy, brother. One of my closest friends to this day, who I also met as a 14-year-old on those fields in Mankato, Minnesota, is my guy, Matthew Hatchett. Hatch, thank you for taking the time in the midst of your NFL career to stay after me after practice and help me sharpen my own skills. I'm grateful for the role you play in my life, and I'm grateful for what you do for my kids as well. I also want to thank 2 players that I was fortunate enough to be teammates with my first 2 years in the league. They showed me the roadmap to success. The first, Emmitt Smith. At 20 years old, I walked into that Cardinals locker room, and the all-time leading rusher made himself available to me. I could talk to him. I could confide in him. I could rely on him. The only thing I couldn't do was beat him and wrestle in the locker room. Man, he was old when I got there, too. He was so old, man. That joker's strong, man. He's strong. Oh, man. But Emmitt, I admire how you always knew everybody's name in the building and how you always practiced with competitive integrity, even in your last season. Thank you for being such a great example for me. Kurt Warner is my other teammate I want to thank. He came to the Cardinals when I was 21, and he shaped me by the example that he set through his faith, through his service to the community, as a teammate, a husband, and a father, and also his weird, insatiable love for spaghetti. Kurt, when you demanded that I elevate my preparation, consistency, and accountability, you dragged me into the life's winner's circle. The timing couldn't have been better for a young, impressionable kid, and I continue to aspire to be the kind of man that you are. I want to acknowledge my other four head coaches, Ken Wisenhunt, Bruce Arians, Steve Wilkes, and Cliff Kingsbury. You and your coaching staffs contributed to this journey in your own way, and it means a great deal. Wiz and BA, you two coached me in my prime, and I hope you know how special those years were to me. And I would not be on this stage without you and your staffs. I can't mention every single person who nurtured me during my football journey because I'd be up here all day just like my guy Ray Lewis was 8 years ago. But seriously, I want to recognize my coaches, teammates, trainers, equipment staff, and so many others who are here. Would you guys all please stand up and let me just celebrate you? Tyler, Dre, Chris, Joe, Kelvin, Adrian, AQ. I love y'all boys. Pat P, I see you, boy. Thank you so much. Thank you. So many of you have been my rising tide. We share moments that I'll carry forever. Folding towels in the locker room, treatment in the training room, late nights in the weight room, early mornings in the film room, running routes and catching balls long after everybody has left the field, quiet conversations where trust is earned, barbecues and Bible studies, golf and games of chess, weddings and our kids being born. You were my second family. All of it was powered by love. And that love began with my entire family, my parents, my brothers, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins. My brother Marcus, a talented player in his own right, and dad to my favorite nephews, Jalen and Prince. Marcus, even though you're a little brother, you did your best to protect me. And I made that a tough job at times. I love you and thank you, man. Thank you. Plus, we share the greatest gift anyone's ever received, the people who raised us. Even though our parents, Carol and Larry, are no longer with us, I still try every single day to make them proud. Mom, you were the first champion I knew and the greatest one of all. You lost your fight with breast cancer, but in the years that you lived, you taught me how to love. You showed me how to fight with integrity. You set the standard for our family and our community. And you always will be an example of a life well lived. My dad, who I lost recently, is also here in spirit. I can feel his presence. He was the foundation of our family and the standard that I measured myself against. Dad, I know there were times where it must have felt like you were carrying the weight of the world, but you always showed up. And your willingness to love and sacrifice with the consistency was the blueprint that I used to raise your grandsons, which brings me back to where I started with my 3 sons. Devin, I see your discipline, and it excites me about your future. Apollo, I see your curiosity. It expands everyone around you. And Milo, I see your fire, and I want to help you harness those amazing gifts. There's one thing that I want you boys to remember most from everything you've heard. Surround yourself with people who tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Those are the people who actually love you. Copy their examples, and remember, there's never much traffic on the extra mile in life. Bring others along with you. Don't just pursue excellence for yourself. Help others pursue it too. That's the part of this story that matters the most. It's not the likes, it's not the follows, it's not the fame. but the people you travel with, the values you uphold. And in the end, it's not just about excellence, it's about the people who you help get there. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and may God bless you all.